I ain't. Yeah. Man, I gained 10 pounds eating the red and the green M&Ms, bro. I gained 10 pounds so quick with all that. On top of it up today, how you brothers been for the week, man?
Oh, we've been good, man. We've been
good.
Yeah. We can't ignore the ratings. I mean, this light skin thing is working for me and Derik.
I heard it. Where do we start?
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. What up? On Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Like, subscribe, ring the bell so you know when we get the notifications when 4 Flyers brothers come on, man. But remember, like and subscribe, tell a friend. We're growing every week. We truly appreciate everyone that's taking that ride with us every single week. My brothers from another mother, here we are for another week, man. What's going on with you, man? Derik, talk to me, brother.
Hey, man, you know, life is good, man. I'm feeling really, really nice right now. Tonight, I went with my goddaughter to pick up her first car. You know, we drove that back, man. Nice, reliable Toyota Camry. First used car, new used car. Very nice, just like new. We put a lot of time and effort into it, into finding it. I'm very proud of her. She paid for it herself, all right, and she's doing big things, and now she's ready to move on. She wanted to get that out of the way. She's ready to move on to school now and a few other things that she wants to do. So yeah, you know, she's very, very she's a very responsible young lady, and I'm very, very proud to have her in my life, you know, and say that I could help her. So I'm very, very high on that. The family's doing great. We're doing great. Had a nice time with my family this weekend, and I'm looking forward to more experiences with them this weekend with y'all tonight. And this is the highlight of my week, as I always say. So, you know, let's chop it up, y'all.
Yo, congratulations. You know, it used to be the Camry for Jamaicans back in the day.
What?
Cressida.
The Cressida, yeah.
Trevor, Donovan.
Yeah.
We're going car shopping. We're gonna go by the Cressida.
And there wasn't a Cressida on the planet that didn't smell like marijuana.
When I step up my Cressida,
throw it in the ashtray, right? You know,
when I step up my Cressida on my travel foxes.
Crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man, Jamaicans will be after me tomorrow, brother. Shauna, what up, Shauna?
Hey.
Shauna, text me tomorrow, man, to remind me again. I've told the people I'm waiting again, so just you know what I'm talking about. Rodney, man, what's up, man? How was your week, man?
My week was good. I enjoyed the weather. I thought it was really nice this week. You know, my daughter's showing interest in basketball. I'm about to make a confession on the show. My daughter goes to her first basketball clinic to be on the team, and my wife comes back with her and says, I'm going to help her practice doing some layups. So I said, okay. Now, I was watching out the window. They didn't know I was watching out the window. And I'm telling you, it was comical. My wife was getting frustrated out there. She says, what is wrong with you? It's a layup. It's not a stop and shoot. But yeah, my wife's gonna kill me when she sees this. She's gonna be like, why you didn't come outside? Because I was having a good time inside watching it. But
you had the skybox seats.
I had the skybox seats, you know. But I'm most likely gonna be doing it next week. I'll show her how to do a layup and everything. Nice. But I'm noticing these gas prices are getting crazy.
What?
Yeah, they're getting crazy. They're getting crazy. Soon they're gonna make people leave the car and come back with the money because the prices is getting crazy. Yeah. Like I'm like, oh, it's like $4 almost, pretty much.
Yeah,
you know, this is crazy. But I hope they do something about this inflation that's coming. They're trying to play it light, like it ain't coming heavy, but it's coming heavy.
Oh yeah,
I'm scratching the surface.
I'm trying to buy an electric car. I need an electric car.
Yeah, we got to get one of those electric little motorcycles or a skateboard or something. That'll save you. You know. But other than that, that's my week. Ain't nothing else to brag about. Kelvin, how you doing this week? I can't wait.
Good, man. I'm good. I feel healthy. I feel, energized. I decided to try to trick myself. All the stuff that I hate about the clocks, going back and, getting dark early. And we know the snow is on the way, the cold, bad, dark weather. I'm going to embrace it this year. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about not being able to get where I need to go, sitting in snow and all that stuff like that. So I decided to change my mindset, you know what I mean? And I just really, really feel good. I told y'all I was doing mental reps all summer. Like I haven't worked out, but I've been doing it in my mind. So right now, I'm going to probably put that into action sometime next year. So that's where I'm at right now. But
are you getting results? You getting results?
Mentally, I'm swole. You know what I'm saying? So now I got to actually start doing it. So what I did, I'm laying out my own regimen. Forget all this going online, finding out stuff. I'm going to do some jumping jacks. And that's what I'm going to do, the jumping jack thing. You know what I'm saying? And so the dexterity, that's it. My jumping jack game is nice. You know? What's up? What up, man? Right now. So I'm good, though, fellas. I'm good to be with you guys tonight. And I got to tell you something. This podcast is growing. This is going to be a monumental show. It just is. I just feel it. It's in the air. You know what I'm saying? You know how you step on the basketball court and then you don't know you're going to go for 50, especially because you've never gone for 50, but this is the night you go for it. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me.
Man, I'm all right, man. Everything's slow motion, man, right now, man. Just trying to finally get off this cold. So if you see me blow my nose, people, I'm not on no booger sugar. I just have a little rain nose.
Let it out, brother.
That's all. I don't make sure. Work, you can't even cough anymore. I cough like everybody.
Yeah.
I was patient zero for my job. Like, nah, I'm good. And they're like, nah, people got a fever and all kind of shit running over me, man.
You can't have a cold this time.
Oh, bro, man. You can't have
There's no such thing as a cold.
No, you can have a cold. You can't sneeze. None
you can't have allergies no more. Everything's COVID.
Everything. So it's like it's scary. Everybody looking at you, man. Every time you do something, I'm trying to hold your coughing.
I know, right? I'm with you. I've been there.
So that shit is crazy right now. But yeah, man, that's about it, man. So let's see, my brother Kelvin. What else is going on, man? Anything crazy in your life today?
All right. I hate to always be the one because I don't want y'all to think I'm just like always complaining about something, but it's just observations. All right. So this is some foolishness. Have you ever experienced, and especially when it comes to dudes, people that can't help but to get 2 inches from your face to talk? Have you ever had somebody just literally get in your space? And let me tell you something. I think it's a condition. Yeah. I actually think it's like some type of sickness. There's 2 dudes I know in particular, and we're talking to the dude, and I'm saying, consider COVID for one, right? Like we try to back up off everybody, give everybody space now, but there's 2 dudes that literally are within 6 inches of your face. And I'm saying, the good thing about the human body is if you think somebody can't hear you, amplify your voice.
Yeah.
But don't get it. And so the one dude, he's talking to me and I'm trying to maneuver. And every time I maneuver, he maneuvers. So in other words, no matter how I try to get away, he keeps coming forward. And I'm saying, I don't know linguistically a skillful way to say, get out of my face. Like, I don't know how you do that. You see what I'm saying?
I know how you do it, Kelvin.
How you do it, Rob?
Hello?
Yeah, how you do it? How you do it?
Oh, I thought y'all lost me for a minute. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
No, I know how to skillfully do it. You take both your hands and go like this. And just pull back. That's the best way to do it.
So there's one dude that he just kept doing it so much where a lot of ladies were like, hey, we feel uncomfortable. You just kind of crowd in that space, right? So I went and talked to him. And when I talked to him, as soon as I finished talking to him, he was up in my face again. I'm like, I don't understand why this doesn't land. And so what I realized is these situations, it's like a condition. One of my friends, I'm not going to say her name, she's probably watching tonight. She's a big boss, right? And so there was a dude at her job that all the ladies complained that the dude kept staring at their cleavage. I'm talking about not just glancing. I mean, my man was locked in, right?
D? It was D there? It was D?
No.
Oh. D was at their job.
It's now coming to the point where the women are ready to go like to HR or something and complain. She goes to meet with the dude to tell him that this is unacceptable. While she meet with him, he's staring at her cleavage. And I'm saying, like, my man was determined. And I realized it's a condition. So I was just going to say the foolishness is this. Learn how to back up off people. Stay out of people's grill because it makes me uncomfortable. And no matter how I try to duck it or dodge it, the dude kept coming. You know what I'm saying? I try to put on a mask and speak to my man, turn the other way, and it doesn't even work. So that's my new thing now. If you're out there and it's you, get some help. Arms length. With camera, arms length. Just stay back. If your arm can reach out and touch somebody, you're too close. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about bad breath and all that stuff like that. It's about I don't like dudes just all up on my face. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We'll be right back after this.
Some things are culturally. It's a certain group of people that take the 7 train that don't drive too well. I'm not mentioning things. Just make your own.
You treading that line, brother.
I'm just saying.
You're right.
They are very close to you on the subway. Certain group of people everywhere. So I'm saying, what up, Simone? We saw you, Simone. I'm just saying they don't drive too well.
D, keep us on. We doing so well, D. Don't let us go out like this.
And they make great cars.
Oh my God!
Whatever's in your head, that's on you. I'm just saying. You know, they got a whole bunch of different. Got American technology in cars, German. You know, Asian. Anyhow,
when I try to get down, he throw another log on it.
Yeah, you can't stop him. You can't stop him. You can't stop him.
Sorry, I'm just saying. I ain't saying no names. I'm just saying. All this is alleged.
Yeah, allegedly.
Anyhow, man, what's up on the chopping block tonight? What my man Jamie got us laced up for tonight? Oh, that's right. Astroland tragedy, man. Travis Scott, the performance out there in Texas. A bunch of people got crushed and killed. They saying there might have been some foul play with some needles injecting or fentanyl pills were given out, something like that, and people passing out and stuff like that. And some people, even the black people, say that he's part of Illuminati, saying some devil worship shit. But anyhow, what are your thoughts on this whole tragedy? It's sad that these people are using life from ages of 14 to 28 years old, I think, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think a 9-year-old too is
9-year-old. Damn.
I'm trying to figure out why the 9-year-old out there at a damn concert.
I think he's like 9 or 10 years old. I think he was there with his father. He's from the story that I read. He was actually on his father's shoulders when the crowd knocked him off his father's shoulders, and then he wound up getting trampled and crushed and everything. Well, he's still in the hospital now. He's not deceased, but he's seriously hurt.
No, the 14-year-old died though.
Yeah. There was a 14-year-old. I think there was a 9-year-old that's still alive.
Oh, the 9-year-old's alive. Oh,
yeah.
Well, first of all, rest in peace to everybody. All the families that are affected by this. I mean, this is just tragic. You know, I'll just say I don't like a lot of crowds. I don't like being a part of crowds and parades and festivals and stuff because a lot of times, and I don't know much about this venue, but a lot of times it's makeshift. You know what I mean? Some of these venues are not equipped to handle it. And I think once we start,
it was at City Field. It was at City Field, Kelvin.
Oh, it was City Field?
Yeah.
No, it's Astroland.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm thinking about Rolling Loud. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm on another concert.
Houston, right?
Yeah, this is Houston.
I don't know much about the venue, but I'm just saying when you have like standing room only crowds and things like that, it's very, very hard to manage those crowds. And you don't have, back in the day, that's why I always believe in concerts where you're able to sit, even though a lot of people stand up through concerts and things like that. I want seats that are fastened. You know what I'm saying? Because you see certain things. Just having a lot of people is almost like a herd mentality. Yeah. One domino can affect everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so again, my heart goes out to any family. You're there for entertainment, for an event, and then to have the tragic loss of life. And I know that there's a lot of people going after the artists and things like that. But when it comes to a venue like that, man, it's just really, really tragic. And I'm sorry to hear that. And that they've got to do a better job when it comes to these festivals. Even sports teams now sell standing room only seats and things like that. And I just think it's really, really dangerous. You're putting sometimes 5, 10, 15, even 20,000 people in an area. And if somebody falls or somebody gets sick, people get so caught up in the hysteria of what's going on stage you know, they're not paying as much attention to their surroundings. So, again, so sorry to hear that, and it's really tragic.
You realize why they do these standing concerts, right?
No, why?
More money.
Because there you go. You can pack more bodies in there, and that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about being, because the thing is, just like you said, if you have seats for everybody compared to everybody standing up,
you're 50,000 people.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. If you got people standing, you can fit more people in the venue. You know what I mean? And that's what it's about.
People in places like sardines, man. That's crazy.
It's like you said. It's like you're treating people like cattle. It's like a herd mentality.
Think about Yankee Stadium holds 50,000 people, 54. Right. So imagine all those people.
And you have no structure. You have no structure. Once the concert starts going, the music is loud. Some people are drinking. Some people, you know. And then you ever go to a thing and you see somebody got to put their kids on their shoulders because whatever, and people in the back can't see. Then people get angry and stuff. It's just too much. That's why a lot of stadiums they don't allow you to bring umbrellas in. It obstructs people's view, and it's just bad. It's dangerous. Too many people. I have limits. My limit. If it's a game, I go to the Garden, which holds 19,000 for basketball, but everybody's in a controlled environment. But outside of that, for a concert, Radio City 6,000. That's my limit.
Yeah, that many people is just insane because, you know, when you start thinking about that level of crowd, you have all different kind of personalities. Some people are not all rap type. You know what I mean? And then you know, and if you've ever been in a situation, you don't know what people's what they're there for. You know, I think you said, Rodney, maybe somebody they was talking, maybe somebody just, you know, handing out drugs or maybe sticking people with needles or whatever. You know, if you ever been around a lot of people, and plus if you ever been in that many people, you ever been in a situation in the crowd where something crazy happens and people start to stampede. You know, can you imagine that many people? You know, something happened to that many people and they start to stampede. I think you got roughly the equivalent, you know, sort of dangerous situation right there. So. I mean, it's crazy. I personally could never bring a child. I think there's a limit, and I'm not passing any aspersions on father or anybody's, you know, fatherhood or their choices. But I personally could not bring my child to a concert. You know,
not a Travis Scott concert.
Yeah.
It's the concert you go to. Like if you go to Radio City and you go to the Muppets or whatever, those kind of, you know, that kind of stuff. You bring it. It might be you might catch a Madison Square Garden with a 13. 15, but not no Travis Scott. When you talk,
I would just feel too vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with my son. If something happened, I can't do nothing because I gotta watch out for my children. You know, I feel too vulnerable. So
what she said? She said Westbury Music Fair.
Yep.
Wow, she took it back. They don't even call it that no more. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Shauna, that's my spot too. When certain people go to show up at Westbury Music Fair, I'm there too.
Yo, what you said? She just said, hold on, go back.
Travis Scott is known for wild crowd.
Yeah, he's known for making them chart. He makes everybody come close to the stage.
Yeah,
when he gets out there.
And he jumped in the stage, and he's like, somebody tried to steal his sneakers one time. He wanted Pearson to get fucked up, all kind of stuff like that. So it's like, but now he feels bad because he performed for like 30 more minutes when people were saying like people getting killed. Now he's paying for the funeral for all these people now.
Yeah. You know, not that it's going to bring anybody back. The lawsuit is going to be tremendous on that thing.
God, because the thing, Rob, where was the pat down, like the metal detectors to keep the needles and all that? If alleged needles were in there and stuff like that, like where was that stuff at, man?
I mean, you got to realize, like when you go to a concert like that, I mean, allegedly the security ain't as tight as it looks.
Yeah.
You know, because the thing is, their goal is to basically funnel people in as quickly as possible. You know what I mean? So if they searched everybody thoroughly, the line would build up outside. And then basically people get upset that they weren't in for the show. But there's another thing that we're overlooking too. Like people freak out at those concerts because when you're confined like that with all these people around you, people discover they have claustrophobia.
Yes.
And they flip out at the concert because that starts people pushing and, you know, trying to get space and stuff like that because they don't realize they're claustrophobic. That's very true.
Well, rest in peace to those people, man.
Yes, very sad situation.
Another rapper in some he's gonna be in he's in deeper trouble than Travis Scott. Freddie Wap arrested on federal drug charges ahead of the Roller Loud performance, which was in Citi Field about 2 weeks now. I think it might be a week and a half ago.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago because my son went. My son went to him.
He got caught with over 100 kilos of mixed with heroin.
It was I think it was 16 keys, two keys of heroin, like 5 guns,
fentanyl
and fentanyl. Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. And he was I think 4 or 5 other people were arrested too. And one of them was a correctional officer from Jersey, I think.
Jersey, that's right.
Yeah, Jersey. So the thing is, this is something that it was organized. They probably were doing it for a little while. Like you try to figure out like why a rapper, unless he's not making as much money as people think, or he's spending too much, like why are you into the drug game at this stage? Doesn't make sense at all. And then you got to realize somebody obviously told on this situation because that's how they find out.
Well, you know what I try to do in life, and I've tried to, raise my nieces and nephew with the same mindset: risk versus reward. Most of the time, I actually look at this is how I run the play. If it's gonna end with the potential of jail or death, I try to go the other route. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm saying I don't understand why people make their art reality or their reality art or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just at the end of the day, they're gonna get him for that's not him using that. That's obviously selling that, and they are gonna make an example. I want to say this, and it's gonna sound foul, and I'm probably a little late to the party. What is wrong with his eye? It
was glaucoma. It was glaucoma as a kid.
That's what it was. I thought he was shot.
No, glaucoma. Yeah, glaucoma.
Oh, okay.
But it's probably shot on the record.
Yeah, here come my thing with Freddie Wap. Obviously, he didn't see this coming.
And you got to answer for that one. You got to answer. You're gonna have to
I got to answer for that. I got to answer. He didn't have his eye on the prize. So he should have had his eye.
Yo, and he pulled me in too. That's what makes it so bad. He pulled me close. No, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I just think it's sad. A lot of these brothers make it from some very, very dangerous environments. You get exposure, you become world renowned, and then to allow it to end like this. I always wonder if you're gonna go and work this hard to get some modicum of success, right? Then why revert back to this? Why not just do the drug thing from the gate and just go to jail? Why let the whole world know you and work hard and make the sacrifices to get a career and then let it end like this? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing. And if you don't have a lot of money anymore, there's still a small enough fan base that'll watch you at clubs or lounges or something, and you can still kind of monetize it.
He could have did shows like every other rapper that hasn't been seen in a long time. He could have did a whole bunch of shows. Right now, like let me example. Who's about to get some tour dates probably. Loose Ends. Everybody was watching BMF and started playing that song. Stop the Rain with the I don't know if you guys watch it. You don't watch it, right? Lamar. He started playing. My young 23-year-old staff all downloaded. My nephew has downloaded. Yeah. Like it's not over for you. You just right now you just on a little pause, but they got to live to a certain level. That's why he went out there and tried to do that. You know what I'm saying? He said, I just wish he would. I wish he would have saw it coming. I really did. I wish he would have just like put his eye on the future, all that kind of stuff like that. All that kind of stuff. He would have just been all right.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. No, and it's sad. It's no Rodney.
The thing is, I know this. I known this brother a long time, man. I know what he's doing. Y'all don't see it like I see.
I'll lay it up for y'all, man. I'm giving it to you right there.
I catch the alley-oop, D. You know what I mean?
Y'all wrong.
Man, let me see. But how many years he look at? But it don't matter. We all gonna be super old by the time he come home.
He looking at like probably about 30 years.
Easy. That kind of weight. Anyhow, Damon Dash. Speaking of other drug dealers from back in the day, Damon Dash is ready to make Paid in Full 2 after the death of alleged drug dealer Alpo Martinez. I can't say alleged because that motherfucker got.
I don't think that's an alleged. I think we're safe on that one. There was no alleged about that.
So for those who know, roll it back. Alpo was a street drug dealer back in the day in the late 80s, early 90s. That was in Harlem, New York. He went to jail. They made a movie about him, AZ, and Rich Porter called Paid in Full, which was like a hood classic. And it's still, I'll say it's a classic.
It's still a classic.
Still a classic. And since he got Alpo got murdered, was it last Sunday, y'all?
Halloween.
It was Halloween. You're right. It was Halloween.
Yeah.
So Halloween falls on the weekend. Yeah. Anyway, he got murdered.
Hold up a second. First of all, Jeremy, switch my box around because I'm catching D cold. First of all right. I'm getting it talking now. All right.
The particles is falling
right.
Down, right?
But so let me ask you a question. So because he's dead now, is it safe to make the movie, or like what is?
I don't think. I think it gives him more to a story now because now Alpo, you can write onto it because Alpo came home. Everybody know Alpo was snitching, right? Then he was in witness protection. This fool decides to come out of witness protection on the streets like everything is sweet. So he's out here in the street. Well, when he first came home, he was wearing a vest because he didn't know what time, bulletproof vest because and he's out in the street. Then he starts talking about how he laid out rich. And people are like, yo, this guy's arrogant.
He did a video in an interview telling how he killed Rich Porter. Yes.
Rich Porter.
Yeah.
So he came with his arrogance. So apparently some people, he had a lot of haters still out there. Not haters, but I guess people that still mad about it. But remember, Alpo did a lot of foul shit too people. Remember, he was filming women and fucking them and showing them on videotape. So he built this. I was surprised he made it this long. He came home about a few years ago. I'm surprised he made it this long on the street.
He came home in 2015.
And should have stayed in witness protection. The feds give you a new ID, place to stay, couple of dollars, but you got to come back to the hood.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the biggest drug dealer in Harlem. Is that what it was?
One of them.
And then Supreme was the biggest in Queens.
Yeah, you got a lot of cats. You got what's them brothers? We gonna have
Montana.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in Harlem, he's a few cats. They was just so young, making so much money back then. MAZ, Rich Porter, and Alpo.
See, the thing is, like you just said it, D, it definitely is a hood classic. I still think it is the movie. The thing is that I think the chance that maybe if Dame Dash does it, like it's hard to top that after you've done it, like that. And then the thing is too, I'm pretty sure some people will probably have a problem with them making another movie and kind of glorifying somebody that was a snitch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be interested to see what he winds up doing, how it comes out and how people receive it,
Yeah, me too. It better just be good, man. Don't make it too stupid because the first one was such a classic. Don't mess that up, man. Just don't mess it up, man.
Yeah, I mean, the only way I could think you could do Paid in Full 2 is probably just showing him going to jail and then the life after that. I don't know what else you could do.
Yeah, me either. Because right? Because
it covered when it was Rich Porter, AZ, and Alpo. They covered that part of their life.
Mm-hmm.
So only thing you can do is cover it afterwards.
Yeah, but my question, Ron, he had an ID. He was up in Maine. I think his ID was. He was.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want to be that close to New York, to be honest. Maine's too close for me. But no natives would have found you in Maine though.
No, I don't think there's even one native in Maine. Well, he might have been the only native in Maine.
Yeah, he might have been the only one causing all the trouble.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he was, it was too boring up there for him or too slow or what have you. But he came back to Harlem.
What's interesting from that time where there was a lot of hustling going on in the late 80s, early 90s. I always wonder, what is the payoff? Like maybe a great year or two, some nice clothes and jewelry, women and but in other words, it's not sustainable. I don't know. There was a line in The Wire when a guy was telling Marlo like all these guys wound up that wore the crown wound up dead or whatever. He's like, yeah, but they wore it though. To some people, that's enough, I guess.
Yeah,
that is for some people. They want to be street legends, and that's where you're. Right. I don't get it. Like talking to these kids, they think they run these streets, they own these streets. I'm like, dude, we're gonna wipe your blood up, and somebody gonna move it to your apartment. We're gonna replace you tomorrow because life still goes on.
It's just an identity thing.
You know what I'm saying? It's just too many that we know that are gone. Like and life moves on. And this generation don't know the fuck they are. Yeah. In 10 years, nobody matters. When I was a man at 21. In heaven, now you're in heaven. It's 10 years past, and nobody gives a fuck.
So let me just ask you guys this. Let me just ask you before you move on. Let me ask you this. Each one of you will ask the same question. What stopped you from going that route in the street? We lived through the crack cocaine eras heavy. So what was it?
I'm going to admit so. I'm gonna let y'all go, and I'm gonna let y'all go.
I was an individual. I had too much self-awareness, bro. Just kind of honestly, that was it. you know, and I felt like I had too much to lose, you know, because I had been around. I didn't, you know, I don't really speak on a lot of stuff, but I had seen enough. I had, you know, been around enough people to know, you know, enough dysfunction to know. So you know, I just knew who I was, you know, and I let other people do what they had to do, you know, and just stayed a part of it. So, you know, that was my story.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I wound up losing a very close friend to the streets. And then plus back in my days, people would tell you like, hey, this ain't for you. You know, you got a brighter future. You need to be, you know, not need to really be out here like this, you know. So that's kind of what sent me in a different direction, losing a close friend and just somebody basically breaking it down to me like, you know, you need to get out, you know, go in another direction, in other words.
Right.
Well, me and my man Willie Bradley got robbed in South Carolina, so I'm gonna. That's a whole nother subject. He's a lawyer now. We was down there with Jamie, and that's what happened. But also like seeing like, but really like going hard like when it was really younger was because like cats like chicken when dudes were going to get locked up when he was teenagers, man. Yeah, I didn't see no fun in that. I said everything I like is free. I like pussy, I like money, and I like eating what I want. So I don't like boy pussy. So that's why I didn't want to go to jail. I'm just saying.
You know what it is? I'm gonna tell you something. I think the foundation is important, but I've seen the foundation not work. I've seen people come from good homes, good parents, you know, have what they want, and it's something about the law of the street that used to just get people. You know what I mean? And so I'm glad that we made it. I hope there's some young men and women that are hearing this or maybe watching and seeing it that they know that that's not the route.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
Definitely not the route. But I'm glad we're all here.
Yeah, a lot of young people don't realize that the street crimes they're doing may end up getting their families targeted by robbers one day.
Yep. All right, brothers. Thank you, Simone, for that comment. Jamie, take us our first commercial, please.
Jam.
Orchard Blue Counseling Services, or known as OBS, is a private mental health practice based in Southeast Queens, New York. OBS's founder and holistic psychotherapist, Serene Prince, is a Queens native with Caribbean roots. Serene is committed to providing culturally competent holistic psychotherapy to diverse communities while curating a safe healing space for Black and Brown people with compassion and awareness of their total being. As experts in children and teens, we have curated a mental health and wellness community where children are heard, guided in developing a healthy self-esteem, supported in strengthening their inherited resilience, and learn skills to manage their emotions to develop positive relationships with parents, adults, and their peers. Orchard Blue Counseling Services is designed to help children and adults discover their inner healer as we take the journey with our clients to work towards self-acceptance, self-love, and resilience to manage life's uncertainties and embrace its wonders. Our private practice extends to providing consultant services for personal life transitions and business development, parenting guidance and support, and clinical supervision for mental health students and therapists. And be sure to book our founder, Serene Prince, as your next holistic speaker, offering your audience a life-changing experience. Now that you have taken the first step to learning about us, we invite you to walk towards a healing and progressive life with Orchard Blue Counseling Services. Contact us for your free consultation where applicable. Email or call us at info@orchardbluecounseling.com or area code 516-200-1174. You can also connect with us at our website and social media pages, orchardbluecounseling.com, or on Instagram at orchardblue_counseling SBCS, or Facebook at Orchard Blue Counseling.
Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. So, guys, before we bring in our first guest, I want to lay it up for you on this one, man. So, Insecure is one of my favorite shows. Black show on HBO. Comes on Sunday nights, I believe at 10 p.m. 30-minute show. I thoroughly enjoy the show. So they had an episode last week where the brother he was dating this woman, and they broke up for a number of reasons. They broke up. I'm gonna get to that, make it quick. And he wound up finding out a while later she was pregnant. So she told him she didn't want him to be in his life. It means he don't have to be part of the baby. That she's gonna do it on her own, but he's trying to be a co-parent. So the baby was born, and then they had some drama. So I want to go into the show a little bit more, but it's like some baby mama drama. And these people trying to figure it out. Well, further ado, because I know our guest, she got to go to bed early. I want to bring in some of our guests tonight. Can we bring in Brittany, Keisha, and Norette? What up, ladies?
Hey.
Queen in the building. What up, beautifuls? How y'all doing tonight, ladies?
How y'all doing, ladides?
Hey.
Very good. God is good.
That's right. All the time?
Every day.
God is good. Yes, he is.
All the time.
Come on, Kelvin, you supposed to lead us with this one.
He wasn't ready. Come on.
I listen to these. I listen to these.
He wasn't ready.
Man, this is a fake ass pastor we got here, man. They laid it up for you, man. So, ladies, I mean, y'all watch Insecure, right? And I want to know, your Team Lawrence or Team? I just want to know your thoughts on this week's episode. If you was a woman, let me just get your thoughts first of all on the episode last week. I don't want anybody want to take the lead on this.
Well, here's the thing. They're young. So, of course, my perspective as a 49-year-old is going to be very different than a 20-something-year-old.
They're 30. They're in their 30s.
Well, even still, it's a significant age difference and experience difference from where I am now to where they are. So, off top, I am Team Lawrence. I just am, because, you cannot fault a brother for trying to be in the life of a child that he created, regardless of what the mother says. That's still his kid. Mm-hmm. You can't just say, well, you don't have to do nothing. That's not right to do. He was there too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No, I agree with you, Norette. I think.
Brittany, what you think, Britt?
I do agree with that sentiment, especially because at 30, you know what you're doing when you're laying down with somebody. Mm-hmm. You're not 21, and we don't make these kind of mistakes. But in turn, I do think it's important that they're showing that he's trying to be inconsistent. And it's better to have no father than an inconsistent father. A lot of women feel that way because in the long run, if you allow him to start inconsistency in the beginning, it will happen while the kid is older and start to conceive that, right? And then that affects the child emotionally down the line because here's this father that's in and out of my life and inconsistent. So I kind of see in her role where it's like, you can't be a part-time dad and show up on the weekends. We both made a mistake. The child is here now. We got to make our life work for this child. And I don't feel like Lawrence was doing that per se. I don't think Condoleezza was right either. She had her problems too. But I do think Lawrence should have probably, you got to move back. Like, you can't be in San Francisco when she just had a brand new baby. But in the same time, she also has to be open to a man wanting to be in his child's life.
Yeah, and also, but I'm gonna try to make it. Also, she told him he didn't have to be. Remember that. Hmm. She said that in the beginning. But anyway, Keisha, go ahead. Let me get your thoughts. Keisha, can you hear us?
So I am Team Lawrence. I think condomless, that's what I call her. She
Damn. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna borrow that one. I'm gonna borrow that one, Keisha. You don't mind, right?
Oh shit.
No, I don't. Okay. She is very selfish. And I think it speaks to what this generation is and these times that they think that a baby is like a new Gucci bag. Like, I can raise a baby on my own. I don't need the father, because even in her last marriage last season, she wasn't ready to have the child because this woman was previously married. And now you decide to have a child with someone that you was just hooking up with. So it speaks to the times that we are in today. I'm definitely Team Lawrence. I do not think he should move back to LA because he has a good job in San Francisco. And when he does move back to LA, she's going to ask him to pay things. And how is he going to pay something if he doesn't have a job? So it's always going to be issues in that relationship. I think she needs to take her consequences and take accountability for what she did and what she said. She didn't ask him to be involved when she made the decision. She didn't ask him, and she should stand on that and be a woman.
But I think we're reading this wrong. I think what she's showing us is that she's trying to stand on that. I told you didn't have to be a part of it. You showed up, flashed in and out. So I've made plans on my own on how I'm gonna raise this baby. I got me, my mom, and my sister. We good. And then you show up in the picture, and now you're telling me where you want to fit in. But you weren't in my plans because I made the mistake, and as a woman, I owned it, and I'm gonna do it on my own. And I think Lawrence is still in that young. We see this a lot even with married couples. The man always is the less, in some couples, I'm not saying all, they always get the less burden when there's a child in play. The woman takes on all of the roles of taking care of that child. There are some men who are supermen and they will jump in, and try to take 50-50 of the role. But naturally, as a woman, you are more of a nurturer, right? So in this case, you see Lawrence like, well, my attachment to the baby is not the same because I didn't carry that baby for 10 months. Number two, I'm still young. I just lost the love of my life because you got pregnant. And number three, yeah, I got these great job here. I can move to San Fran. I can be single in my bachelor pad and be with all the women. Oh, but on the weekends, I got to be a father. That's the only time I can give you to be a father. So I think she had some good points there. Like, you're not checking up on me daily. You popping in on Saturday. But the baby's here 24/7 all week, not just on Saturday and Sunday.
But she made the decision.
A leverage thing.
It is a leverage thing. What it seems to me is that, for one, they haven't even given Lawrence a chance to even figure out what he needs to do, because they sent him a text message. They didn't tell her that she was in labor. He didn't even know. He got a text message that said, "Your baby is here."
It started off wrong.
And if you notice, if you notice,
so they're not even giving him a chance.
Correct.
And if you notice, in the hospital, it was her mother and sister. So there's no father figure. So she doesn't even know how to implement a man in her life because she never had one. And that's
Are we assuming she doesn't have a father, or do they say that in the show?
Well, we always see Lauren's father, we see Molly's father, we see other characters' father. We haven't seen her father, and I would assume if your father is in your life, he would definitely be at the labor of your child, at the birth.
And then also you got to remember too, she did say the reason that she only texted him is because Lawrence sent her a text later on, like, "Oh, keep me posted." Like, okay, keep you posted. This is not a meeting that's coming up. This is a child. Like, what you mean? Text you, keep me posted. So that's what she got, a post. Hey, I just had the baby. I kept you posted.
But you know what? Let me ask you a question. Is it fair to devalue relationships between a man and a woman and then put a lot of value in a relationship between parents and their children? I think if you're not good with relationship, you may not be good in either side. So, if
that's not necessarily true, because there are plenty of adults.
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying, in other words, I think you have to take in consideration someone either being consistent or being involved. And the only way you can gauge that before children is usually the way a person would treat you. That's what you would gauge, because you can't risk it any other way. I know this is just a show, but I think that's what happens. People think that children are some type of, magic elixir that a child's going to come and then people are going to change who they are. But those traits are there. And that's why I think you got to kind of assess them beforehand. You see what I'm saying? And then I think also, even as a man, no one should be able to dictate to you the involvement in a child's life. It is part of, just like you can't tell a woman, what to do with her body. I don't think you can just tell this man, you can only be involved in the child's life. When I say you can be involved.
Well, you saw her position when she tried to take the baby from her. It went from like, we're trying to raise the baby together, but when she took it, what she said, that give me my baby. That's what she did. She said, give me my, and they do. They do it all the time. And all of a sudden, like, when you're trying to be there, you're spending money, you're trying to spend time, then your father. But when things are not good, then it becomes her baby. That's not cool. I believe that certain things is, I'm not familiar with the whole last 3 seasons. I did see the last couple of episodes. I do believe, I'm looking at it from a man's perspective, When she dropped it on Lawrence that she was pregnant, you saw in his face that his heart hit the floor.
Yep.
Okay. That was unexpected. That was something that was not planned. It's not like they were engaged to get married and they were going to spend the rest of their lives together. Those are different circumstances. This was something that was dropped on Lawrence, and basically at the same time, due to emotions on both sides, people say things that they really truly don't mean at the time. So I think she said some things that he said, well, let me know. And she said, well, that's what you're going to be. And then she put him in that place. But then when he comes, now the baby's here and he's trying to be a father, then you got to let that other stuff go. Now, this is about the child. This is not about the problems that we have. We already know that me and you ain't rocking like that. But it's about the kid. So if he's going to try to be the father, then let him be the father. The other thing I saw, which is a problem, is little sis. Little sis is a problem, in my opinion.
A huge problem.
She's a huge problem. Because the thing is, Lawrence didn't have a baby with her sister. He had a baby with her. And she's a negative influence on the situation. If you're going to be there for your sister, be there for your sister and stay out of that other stuff.
Well, Condola needs to shut her up.
Yeah, well, yeah, she does. But she can't because she still needs her. She needs her to be there to help her with the baby and the mother. You know, she has the support of a mother and a sister. I get it. They're helping her raise the baby. They're helping her do the feedings or whatever. Lawrence is not there. He's not there because he's saying F everybody. He's not there because he made a decision about going to get a job.
No. You know let's be clear here. Lawrence had a great job in LA. Everybody's acting like Lawrence didn't have a 6-figure job in LA. He did. He chose lifestyle. Okay, this is a great opportunity. It doesn't mean the opportunity that I have is not great enough to support my family. This is just an opportunity that I would like to do. Unfortunately, like you said, Rodney, a child is now in play. That's who's most important. So then you have to really weigh in on the opportunities that you're taking and how it's going to affect your family. Whether it's the ideal family or not, it's your family now. You took this job.
They're not a family, Brittany. They're not a family. They're not.
They have ties to each other. So
no, they have a child in common. They are not a family.
And that's the problem. They need to learn how to be a family. Because now when it's just like,
it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because based on the circumstances of how it happened.
And it doesn't happen in real life.
He has a lot of resentment that he hasn't let go of that's going to prevent it. Yes, because he didn't want the child.
Correct. He feels that he has now been stripped of his.
But we saying he feels the baby is here. At what point do you mature and say, okay, let me put my feelings aside and let me figure out how I'm gonna raise this child?
They both need to do that. They both need that. I said that.
I agree.
They both need to do that.
So I feel I feel as though.
Go ahead.
Okay.
But the thing is, I just want to end it with this. You can't expect Lawrence to wake up one day and think that him and I can't remember the girl's name. What's her name?
Condola.
Condom.
So foul.
He takes responsibility in that as well. It takes two. You know what I'm saying? It's not just her fault in that situation. I mean, I have different conversations with my sons compared to my daughters in that same situation. But the thing is that they're not going to wake up tomorrow and say, we're together, we're a family now, whatever. There's too much resentment.
I'm not saying you need to be together, though. You don't need to be together to be a family. I think that's the mixed up thoughts that we have in our head that we've been taught from generation to generation, but we see that is just not the way of my generation. It doesn't mean that you can't find a way to co-parent and live a life that's conducive for the child.
Keisha, were you about to say something? And then Kelvin?
I was going to say the selfishness only is on Lawrence's back. Right? Because she wasn't thinking about the child either. When she made the decision to fully have a child without a father in there, she also was being selfish, right? So I think they're both being selfish in their own right, because if she was thinking about the baby, she wouldn't have the child and she would have had the conversation with him. And she didn't have that conversation because,
No, I agree. Those are emotional decisions. That's what I was saying before. Right. You know. No, but you're right. I agree with you. He did change his mind, right? Because at first he didn't want the child. And he changed his mind to, okay, I'm going to step up. I'm going to be in this. I think for her, she is the type to, it's either all or nothing. And she's still trying to control the situation, right? Yeah. I have this thing where I think the female gender want to be
you know, the most morale in situations. But you're having premarital sex, you're doing all of these things, but then is when it gets to the abortion, that's when everything stops. Like, now I'm this great person and I can't have an abortion, but you was having sex with somebody you're not even in a committed relationship with, right? Like, she made it seem like she had to have the baby, and she did not have to have the baby. It was a selfish move, and now it's that they brought a baby in this world being selfish, and in a selfish environment. It's going to take a very long time for that now to change.
Kelvin, you want to say something?
Well, first of all, I want to thank the ladies for coming on and sharing those excellent points of view. Because you have come on tonight, I want to make sure you get a copy of my book, We Will Never Get Anywhere as a People. Ladies don't know how to act. An intro to Getabulism, because I cover all this in those books. So I just want you, really, if you ever need to use it as part of the curriculum, feel free. I will make sure you get a copy. But I think one of the things is, one of the main problems on the serious side is this is something that is so prevalent today. You know, and I know it hits our community harder because, you know, some of the lack of resources and things like that. Fathers are very, very important, and they need to be vetted. I don't think men just become fathers because they conceive the child. And so as a result, we got to make sure, because some people don't want that responsibility. I remember one guy told me when he found out that he was going to be a father, he goes to the woman and says, "What do you want to do?" You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, obviously I didn't want to be a father, so he's not trying to tell her what to do, but when a person says, "What do you want to do?" You know, that means if you want to get rid of it, I'm supportive. If you want to keep it, you know, whatever.
Well, he has no choice. He has no choice.
Yeah,
it is her choice. It's her choice.
I just don't think that's ideal. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's very, very important because, again, like you said, really, a child is here. So as the child's coming, what is the child's future going to be like when the child comes into an environment of dysfunction?
Mm-hmm. You have a responsibility as a parent, regardless to whether or not you're with the other person, to at least make room for the possibility that that person will be involved in the child's life. You know what I mean? Give them access to allow, for your child's sake, to give maximum access to that person. You know, so if you're coming in and you're starting to belittle the other person or shrink their responsibility or whatever it is, I think,
or show he has no value.
Or show that he has no value. I think you're doing your child a disservice.
Correct.
Severe.
You know. So
correct.
I think, you know, I'm not team law. I don't watch the show enough to have to be on a team, but I just know of, you know, of the situation. I just feel that that's something that we should all.
I think too, though, if we look at this character's history, he's selfish. When we met Lawrence, he was a couch nigga. He was on the couch while his girlfriend was going out, paying all the bills. She like, "Get a job, Lawrence. I don't care if you work at the Blockbuster down the block. Get a job." And Lawrence, "Oh no, I'm too good for that." He's always been selfish. It's always been about what I want. And I think we're seeing this here, but I do agree with Keisha. I think about my reflections and friends that I've had in similar situations. All women are selfish after a certain age when it comes to a pregnancy, because we do get to that holier than thou stage where it's like, "Child, I'm too old to be getting abortion. Child, I'm sad as baby. I'm gonna do it by myself." And the baby get here, and we like, "Wait a second now.
This is a lot.
This is a lot. Where's the money? Where's the man?" So I do think that we see that on both ends, that they are both equally selfish. However, again, I'm not team condomless. I ain't like her from the beginning, and I don't like her. Right. However, I am team woman, okay? And I can only imagine coming home to a new baby, thinking that it was going to be one way, and it's really probably hell. A lot of first-time mothers will tell you those first few months are the hardest time of your life.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
So especially to do that without a man, you know, you got resentment towards him too. It's like, you know, damn.
Yeah. And there's a postpartum.
Well, I think that's
they're both new parents. They're both inexperienced parents, and new mothers tend to be very protective of their newborn child. Yep. That's what they're going through. So they're both new to this. They don't understand what each other's going through, and they're going to clash.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think there's the trend now is red flags, right? On Instagram and social media. And the first red flags is if I had to find my baby daddy to tell him I'm pregnant, that's a red flag. Because she was hunting him down for a day and a half to tell him she was pregnant. So if I can't even find this man to tell him I'm pregnant, that's a
maybe
problem.
you need to be telling them, child. After the first 2 hours,
because I should be able to call you and be like, hey, yeah.
Let me ask you this question. They used to say, and it was almost cliche, that a good man is hard to find. It actually seems balanced now. It seems like it's just as hard to find a good person. It just really seems like, and I know good is subjective. And when I say that, I'm talking about whatever you classify it to be. But today's woman and today's man, it looks like, it just looks like it's kind of hard, few and far between to find people. We find people with charisma, but not too many people with character. And so I think we have to kind of figure out, some people like, if it doesn't show up, then I'll just go ahead and take what's available. And that's just dangerous. You know what I mean? I was raised where I watched my father and my grandfather and my great grandfather stay with their wives, be married, and raise their families. And it was good to see that. I haven't found a wife. If I did, I would get married tomorrow. But the reality of it is, it's something important. But I never wanted that concept of just having kids a bunch of places, and I couldn't imagine having a child and not being in their lives. There's no scenario where I could see that. And if I did conceive a child, I want to be in that state. I want to be in that home. I want to be there. And if I can't, I want to be around them. And that's just how I look at it, just as a man.
Yeah, I think a lot.
Well said, Kelvin. Well said.
That's great, man. I think most men that I know personally feel that way, though. You know what I mean? And that maybe that's just the wonderful crowd I hang out with. But most men that I know feel that same way, and that's why I say that you should allow for the other person, you know, to be there. You know, don't take them away. You know, just almost preemptively or whatever, just in the beginning. And so, you know, just I think access to both parents is the greatest resource that you can give a child. You know,
that's right.
So,
that's right.
You know, and they may not have been a perfect person in the beginning. Exactly. In the case of Lawrence, you know, yeah, maybe he was a couch dude or couch in or whatever you want to call him. You know, but you know, he could change. He could get better. You know, I know when I became a father, you know, I learned things about myself that that I didn't see before. You know,
correct.
So and it's something about that can grow you up and get you focused. So, you know,
they both need room to grow.
Yeah.
Well, I think good people. I don't think good people are hard to find. I think there are a lot of good people in this world. Especially after this pandemic, I do believe in good people. I think good people are hard to keep, and I think because as human beings, we are innately selfish. We don't know how to hold on to good people and cherish relationships anymore. So there are a lot of people.
That's fair. I think that's fair. But you know, the problem is being a good person is not enough for a relationship either. So then you have to think of those other things that you want in a person, you know, because you can have a good person, but they may not be good for you. And you know, so there's so many, it's so complicated. Like people look at me like, oh, Kelvin, you're a sex symbol. It's easy for you. It's not. I gotta go through. You know, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You have to deal with it. You have to deal with
I need a sip.
Now, Kelvin, as I can recall, last time you told me I need to lower my standards, so maybe.
Wait a minute.
No,
because the guy that if a guy makes 50 cents less than her a year, he's disqualified.
That's my standard. But what you're saying is you can't find a wife, so your standards are too high. So maybe
okay. I'll be honest with you. Somebody that loves the Lord but look cosmetically challenged don't work for me. I'm gonna just be honest with you.
You either want the BBL or you want God. Now you got to choose.
You're not gonna bend on that at all with the man makes.
This about you. I'm just trying to help you out with the that you gave me, okay? I'm just trying to help you out.
Kelvin, you need to go on and settle for that bucket and, you know, get you some home cooking and some good life.
You know she's going to be at church on Sunday supporting child. That's all that
is. Right there down front with a little hat on.
Lawrence was trying to find himself back then. That's what he was trying to find himself.
Yeah.
He was impatient of, and he found himself, and then he became a beast. And once he found himself, he started swimming like it was like fish to water, man. He was all right, knocking down women, getting good jobs, and it flipped on him.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off something that Derik said. That Derik said. Derik said that, you know, I'm gonna speak for myself. When I had my first kid, right, I'm not the same person that I was before I had children. Yeah. Children changed me. Yeah. You know, my first child, I always tell her to this day, I said, you made me a father. You turned me into a different man when you was born into this world. Yep. So the thing is, that could happen to Lawrence as time goes on. That's the thing is saying, like, you know, you're not born a father. You learn to be a father. You know what I'm saying? And exactly, I was going to say that as well. So the thing is, you got to give each of them both time for her to learn how to be a proper mother and for him to learn how to be a father. Yeah. And they haven't found that yet. But I do believe that children can change most men.
Yeah. Yo, and he extended the olive branch. Remember, he was sitting there and he's the one to reach out and say, yo, he called her and he said he's sorry. And he was saying like this ain't work. So he tried to figure it out. Because at the end of the day, he is a nice guy.
Yeah, because he almost died on the plane. That's why. He almost died on the plane. He's like, life is too short. I don't need to be having all this drama.
You got a little act right.
Yeah.
That turbulence.
Yeah.
But remember, they planned the whole baptism, and he was like, "Wait a minute,
excluded. He was excluded." Yeah,
you know, and he was like, you know, and he even went to the mother and the sister and was like, during the baby shower or whatever it was, the baptism, and he was like, you know, for the holidays, let's try to do this, and they're looking at him like he grew another head. It's like, you know, they are not giving him room to even try to be a good dad.
Not letting him try
about that.
Because you got little sis in there pumping that venom. That's why.
Yeah. I think it's perspective too. Like when we see them split the screens, it's to show that the two of them are living separate lives and can't see it from the other person's
perspective.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, like I said, when you got somebody in your ear pumping venom, it doesn't help either.
Yeah, she'd have to shut up in my life.
She'd have to shut up.
I don't recall her saying too many bad things. She was the comedic flair because at the end of the day, this is a comedy show and they had to throw some comedy in the drama.
Yeah. Hey, do you realize that was Sunshine with the mama?
That was Leela Rashawn, right? I thought that was her. I said that looked like Leela Rashawn's
wife.
That's
ex-wife.
Don't you say it, D. Don't you do it. I used to like Leela Rashawn. Don't do it because I know what you're getting ready to do.
We still like her. She's still beautiful. Shut up.
Yes, she is. You're right. She is. I was a big fan of Leela Rashawn.
You know what?
D, don't cover your mouth, D. Cover your mouth.
When we speak about Keke Palmer in the show, her character, it's always that friend who's like, girl, keep the baby. I'm gonna be there for you. And like, no, they're not. They're gonna hold the baby for about.
Because she ain't got no man. That's why she's doing it.
And she's gonna go back to her life, and it's like this is.
That's right.
It's always she's gonna be the chill auntie. That's it.
That's right. That's right.
She gets to put the baby back. Yeah.
Yeah, so
you're already talking crazy about Lawrence because they couldn't go get massages.
Correct.
Yeah, and they already made a comment when the first thing said that's why the baby looked like that.
Yeah, as soon as he walked in the door, she was on him. I know if I had walked in there, there would have been a different hospital room. I know that. Would have been a different hospital room. Some of them she wouldn't have been the only one in the bed.
But that's the lesson. Don't tell your family and friends what your man do.
Correct. Keep that out. He didn't have a baby with your family. He had a baby with her.
Right.
And she should have told her family from the beginning, like, I told them not to be part of this.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the other part. They sound like they don't know the whole truth.
Yeah, like you said, like I'm a deadbeat dad.
They would have gotten her because it doesn't make sense.
I think too, we got to think of, I think it was Kelvin said this. When a woman comes and tells you that they're pregnant and your response is, well, what do you want to do? Off the break, when you respond like that as a woman, my response is going to be defensive. Like, I don't need you. I'm good.
Right.
So I do think that's important to think about because she didn't have an opportunity for it to go any other way. Because if you start with that with me too, that's going to be my response. Like, oh, I'm good.
So
you know what I realized?
Good until you got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and feed that baby. You'll be good then.
The thing in the beginning when you first say that, that's not the reaction. Regardless if it's a man that you were with, we both say that.
Brittany, that's what I was talking about. Those are emotional responses. That's because you're upset, you're hurt. You're saying, I need, you're really saying in your mind, I need him to be here, but then he's not giving that response, but you're not thinking about how he's feeling. This is being thrust upon him too.
I agree with you. However, I just think it's hard on both ends because
it absolutely is.
So
it absolutely is.
How would a man supposed to respond then?
Correct.
No one can say that there's a way for you to respond to that, because as a young man in their prime, if I was a man and a girl told me that, I'm gonna be like, all right, well, I'm not interested. So
let me tell you something.
I took that line that he said, well, not that line, but that line of, what do you want to do? I don't necessarily take it as something negative. I take it as, at the end of the day, maybe he realizes this is her body, her choice. And, what do you want to do, as opposed to, taking it like, oh, whatever, he doesn't want to be involved. Not necessarily. Maybe he's respecting the fact that, at first she said she didn't want children. He was kind of like taken aback by the idea that she's pregnant. And then he's like, okay, well, what do you want to do? It could be that he is trying to be supportive, whichever way she decides.
But no, I think that's a good point. But when it comes to, I'll just say this as a man, when it comes to conversing with women, men try to do everything we can not to say the wrong thing, because what I realize is intent is not always taken into consideration.
But we always fuck up though.
Right.
No matter how. Right. It's a landmine. You're walking on anything you say.
Before a dude will text you, he will read the text 50 times.
It's when keeping it real goes wrong. Say what you really feel is going to go wrong.
It gets taken out of context. So as a result, certain times you literally have to listen. When it comes to dealing with women, this is what I always say, and I believe this. 2 things you can't do. 2 things you can't tell a woman. One is a lie, and the other is the truth. That's the reality, because both of them will get you in trouble equally. That's what it is, and that's one of those things.
I think that's so subjective. That's all I'm gonna say.
It depends on when you tell the truth.
When it comes to women, men learn how to be indifferent like this. A woman tell you something, dudes be like, I hear you. I see what you're saying.
Yo, let me tell you something. You can't act surprised, right? When a guy gives you an answer like that, especially when you know how that relationship really is. Now, if you're in a serious, committed relationship, you guys have been rocking really hard. You living together, and then you get pregnant, and he gives you that answer. Yeah, I expect a woman to be stunned, because like, yo, we building something here. But if you guys are rocking on and off, and then you drop a bomb on a dude like that, you can only expect that answer. You can only expect it.
Yeah,
but even if you're gonna say that, the way you gotta say it. You gotta say it differently.
I think Keisha want to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Keisha.
Yeah, Keisha want to say something.
As Black women, to that response, right? Like, as Black women, can we just stop trying to be strong? I'm tired of being strong. No, like and that response that she told Lawrence, it's that strong response as a Black woman, right? Like, oh, I got it. It's like, no, sis, you don't got it.
But that comes from immaturity too, and lack of experience. Because that's something I would probably have said at 27, 28, 29 years old. I ain't saying that now, 49. I need some help.
Yo, D, family court is full of dudes that women said, I got it.
Oh my God.
Trying to get that 17%. I thought you had it.
Word. Oh my God. Don't even mention that shit now, bro. You gonna fuck me up. I'm traumatized.
You got triggered.
Oh my God. Don't give me a fucking triggering word, man. Family court is some triggering shit. I got headache, I got migraine now.
I do think though sometimes women are, some of our responses are rooted in delusion. If we're being fair about Condoleezza, she probably, here's a good man. He got a good job, child. We ain't together, but if I tell him we're gonna have this baby, this might be my chance at a family. I wasn't ready before, but now that we're here, he's a good person to have a family with. And we got to be fair. She probably did think that. It's a lot of women out here who think if I keep the baby down the line, things will work out right.
Back to leverage.
That's the delusion.
and that's the thing. And that's the
but the thing is, Brittany's right. Sometimes it does happen.
It does.
Like, it does. It does happen.
And everything.
Like correct. I agree with that. But it doesn't happen a lot. It doesn't happen a lot. But sometimes it does happen.
But the
odds are stacked against you, in other words.
Right. She was mad that she didn't want to have a kid with a man who chose her. Like, you got pics, sis. Like, she should have stayed with that guy and had the baby with that guy. And then you have a baby by a guy who didn't choose you. And
but the difference is, was she pregnant by that guy? She just avoided. I don't know. I just say this. If you
she just never wanted to have a baby with her.
But now, as we called her, what you called her, condomless? Yes. That's the key word right there. This ain't even the man that had put the ring on your finger and you going condomless with him, but you ain't want to have no baby with the man with the ring.
Rent preaching, y'all.
Oh shit! I
got preaching, y'all.
One thing ain't for sure. Women, we know how to protect our bodies, and we do with what we do with who we choose to do it with. So let's not pretend as if sis ain't think that it was going to be it's a miracle I'm pregnant somehow. You know, how this could have happened.
That's right. Yeah. I agree. I absolutely agree. Now, I always feel like when women are intimate with a man, they feel like they're giving him something. It always has this thing, and I have his kid. Like, it doesn't always seem like it's a mutual thing. It's almost like this thing, like the woman has done him a favor by giving herself to him, and that may be because of the way we're built, but it almost seems like that is a premium. Women feel it's a premium. Women treat it as a premium, and I did this, or I did that, and you took advantage of me because whatever. It just always seems like it's a person being indebted because of that.
Careful with that word, always.
Indebted because y'all took us to dinner.
No, the way I got out of the always was the seams. So the seams is the perception.
That ain't all women. I'm just saying.
No, I don't mean like that. I'm just saying.
These are always seams. There you go. Always
seams is the perception. and what I'm doing to you, ladies, is talking to men. I'm in the barbershop one day, and I'm talking to this young man, and he's 20, and he's like, I don't trust women at all. That's frightening. It's just frightening at that stage, because what happened is these boys are acting out roles they've never seen played before. And so what happens is, if you have a person who is irresponsible, giving them more responsibility does not make them responsible oftentimes. Sure. We got to see what the foundation is that you can handle it. Like, for instance, whoever helped usher you into womanhood, or whoever helped usher you guys into manhood, usually that was the example. Like, something very minor. Like, when I was a kid, parent-teacher conference, my parents would get dressed to go. My father, they would get dressed like they would go out to a theater or something. Church. So when my parents wasn't church people like that. But what I'm saying is, when I started going for my nieces and nephew, I would not show up to their school with a do-rag on or something like that. I would be dressed up because I knew their teachers, the impression that was made, I wanted the teachers to know what type of home they came from. What I'm saying is, we have a lot of men who are physically mature and not mentally mature. So being with that person and giving your body to that person and giving your time and your effort and your energy to that person, you really could be actually just throwing your time and your effort and your energy away. And if that is not determined or predetermined before sex, before intimacy, and you think that's gonna magically make a family and something like that, no, it makes you relative. It don't make you a family. And I think the reality of it is, we've got to try to change that narrative up front, because there is no negotiation after the deal is sealed.
Well, parents need to be doing that kind of thing at home with their kids, ahead of time, because, you're talking about a 20-year-old young man talking about he don't trust women. Where does that come from at 20 years old?
His mama, so now he don't trust
exactly. That came out the house.
That came out the house.
He hasn't even had a chance to be in the world to distrust women in that capacity.
Correct.
So it has
but
to
think
start
about the
home.
women he sees. Think about what they see. Because think about it. You and I, we were raised before there was 24-hour videos and news cycles.
Lord, yes, TV went off.
When I was a kid, if you wanted to see a woman scantily clad, you had to get the Sears catalog and look at the bra section, not looking at video 24/7 or something on your phone or something like that.
A deodorant commercial.
Right. So the image that you think about a young man that grew up in the 90s, a teenager, he saw women parading around pools, getting champagne poured on them, wearing stilettos. That's what he saw. So in his mind, that became womanhood in some capacity, which was horrible. And so learning how to degrade and devalue women, that was part of the culture. And he's 20, like you said, he's 20. And naturally, his father wasn't home because by the time he came about, his father was already locked up for selling drugs. But of course, the mother got with him because he had nice Jordans on, and that was it. So that was the criteria. And that's no disrespect. That's no disrespect to women. That's just how it was.
But to that point, Kelvin, and connecting it back to the show, that's what she did as well too. Condola, like she didn't properly vet Lawrence. Yeah, he had a great job, 6 figures, but she didn't properly vet. And to your point, that's what a lot of women do, right? Because their son can happen to grow up and be in the same predicament where he doesn't trust women. He doesn't respect, especially having an aunt like Keke Palmer. He ain't gonna trust no women. You understand? Like he's gonna be around all women, and it's going to continue the cycle. He might come out being just like his father, Lawrence, self-consciously, not without even realizing it, being irresponsible, selfish, and doing the same thing over and over again. So it's that question of like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? Like, who's to blame, the woman or the men in these situations? Like, who is there to blame? Not that we need to blame anyone, but who should actually step up and do the work so something can change.
Right.
Now, for me, I think it's women. I think we do hold the power. I think sometimes we don't realize, I wouldn't say power. Some people don't like that word, but I would say as women, we have more leverage. And we give that leverage away to men when we do things like having babies without commitment, right? Not properly vetting, not committing or making the man commit to you before you give your body to him. And we give away our leverage all the time.
Yeah.
So, I've seen men impregnate women to just stop them from progressing. You ever heard that? But you got a bunch of kids now. Who gonna want you? This, that, and the third. You ever see? I noticed that back in the day. The female that was doing something, the dude that wasn't, the first thing he wanted to do was get her pregnant. First thing he wanted to do was get her pregnant.
That trifling mess goes both ways. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, I've seen that before too. I've seen that, and it's a sad situation. You know what I mean? So, but I think we probably just need, I don't know, man. We probably just need to leave the whole thing alone in terms of like relationships, man. We just need to accept that we all need to lift each other up a little bit better than what we're doing. I think women need to bear their responsibility. Definitely men need to bear their responsibility with regard to that. It's just hard for me because me growing up, I always felt the responsibility to women. I always had responsibility to my children, to being a father. If the minute I knew that I was going to be a father, the world stopped. It was just like, okay, I have to find a new level, and I did that. Personally, I did that, So I'm always hopeful. I'm always trying to give people the benefit of the doubt and giving them the opportunity, the chance to kind of improve themselves for the child, for the sake of the child. And I just, one of the things that just amazed me was the help that I got in terms of people that were around me, family, friends, the brothers. I remember just walking through Brooklyn with my son and just seeing other brothers looking at me and saying, "Hey, brother, that's a good look right there, man. You got your son, go ahead, and it just made me feel up. I remember getting on the train and I would see men sometimes would be like, "Yo, what? I got my son." They be like, "Yo, you want to sound like, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing, So I know that there's an opposite. So I know that there's a lot of there's something about that men, proper men anyway, should attach themselves to logically. And they are I always felt like someone like I had people rooting for me almost, to kind of make the best of the situation. So and at the time, it really helped me out, So I think that I'm always in the camp of just letting people find out and find out new things about parenthood and find out new things about themselves and to grow into being a proper parent, a proper father, especially. So That's my thought process.
Yeah, I think that's well said, Derik. I look at some kids and I feel sorry for them because I know their parents don't have the resources or the maturity or the dedication to raise them. I've been places where you've been out at midnight and you've seen some baby, being pushed in a stroller at midnight or late or don't have shoes on or not dressed properly and things like that because their mother is 16 years older than them. You know what I'm saying? And so as a result, I think one of the biggest changes I saw was like my mother and a lot of people before them came from the South. That connection was just different. They just were homemakers. They knew how to cook. They knew how to organize a family. They knew how to even work on a budget, even if it was small and things like that. Then coming up to the northern cities, it just seemed like things changed. It just seemed like people that grew up here and stuff like that had just a different viewpoint as it related to family, as it related, you know what I'm saying? The reality of it is this: when you have children, some of the things that you want to do, you have to put away. That's just the bottom line.
Yes.
And some people still want to play games and don't want to give up some freedom and want to be parents. And I mean, that's just the reality of it. Some people got babies and don't want to be parents.
Mm-hmm.
And the baby suffers for that. That's just the reality. My parents, I'm sure it wasn't easy. I can tell you one thing, maybe made it look easy. My father got home from work. My mother had us. We would sleep. He's like, these kids are some good kids. No, he ain't know a woman beat the fool out of us. Like, you don't learn how to act. That's just what it was. But I appreciate those things because we just learned how to have respect, not for our mother. You're going to respect everybody else's mother, too. And you're going to know how to act. And you're going to respect your teacher, too. You know what I'm saying? My parents didn't want to hear a parent-teacher conference. Oh, he's well-behaved. My mother, I don't want to hear that. Next, I know that. You know what I'm saying? That's not even negotiable. Next.
Right. That goes without saying.
Yeah, right, exactly. I wish the teacher would call my mother and father, talk about. I got in trouble because I got a U, or unsatisfactory. You know what it was? Talking in class. That's what it was back in the day. Talking in class. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you ain't strangled nobody, you
saw, right?
Listen, I want to thank our guests for coming on tonight. I truly appreciate you, Keisha, Brittany, and Norred.
The King Master.
Appreciate your thoughts, your concerns, your comments, and everything. Please get some sleep. My niece is the oldest young person I know in the world. So
thanks for having me.
I got to play with the kids in the morning. I got to go.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Guys, what's up, man?
We forgot to get their top 15.
Man, Jamie, I want to know, is our guest able to get on yet? Because I'm on the phone with him. I'm trying to do two things at one time. I'm trying to figure out, do we have our special guest for tonight? No. Okay, hold on. Guys, talk about the next show. I'm gonna try to work with this. Go ahead. Talk about.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take over, guys. We there's a great Black Western on Netflix, right? It's called The Harder They Fall. I wanted to know if you guys checked it out.
I heard about it. I heard it was excellent. Is Jay-Z behind this project? Is that what the one?
Yeah, he was a producer. I think he's one of the producers. You got Regina King in it. You got Idris Elba. How you say? How his name again?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba in it. And I saw it. I thought it was fantastic. I really did. I thought it was a good movie. And what they did was they took actually old West guys that were cowboys back in the day, black cowboys, and they actually used their character from back in the days and implemented them into the film. I just thought it was phenomenal. I'll be honest with you, my favorite person in the movie was Regina King. I thought she killed it. I thought she killed it. You know,
I heard her performance on, but she's so talented that I mean, from acting and directing, voiceovers. I mean, she's the so funny. She really built a career the right way. You know what I mean? She always got better. And I think what happens is sometimes people get focused on getting famous and not getting better. And her craft, she mastered it. And I love to see that. I'm gonna check it out, Rod. I hadn't had a chance, but I've been hearing about the press, and I heard it was really impressive.
Yes, man, it's amazing. I really liked it as well. I grew up just watching Westerns with my father. You know what I mean? He loves any kind of cowboy, and he really put me on. I remember watching the old Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns. Yeah, it was dope, and all the characters were well developed. And Regina King was dope, especially her first scene on the train, which was fire. Absolutely. Absolutely.
When she walked past the train, I don't know if y'all know, they gave a shout out to
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman, on the side of the train,
But no, I really loved it, and what I love the style of it. Like, if stylistically, it reminded me of the old spaghetti westerns, like, you know what I mean, the Fistful of Dollars and a Few Dollars More and all of that, you know, with Clint Eastwood, and where they had and just the way it was shot. And also just the way they put together the costumes and everything was dope. And then also the music, the soundtrack was amazing. The reggae, the reggae heavy soundtrack just worked so beautifully with the Western motif. That's what really reminded me of like the spaghetti western. They would do different things like with music, you know what I mean? Which really, it just did an extra. It wasn't just a regular. It wasn't just your regular western. It would just give it a certain flair. And I really feel like they achieved that with this, you know. It was fantastic. Yeah, honey. Yeah, the soundtrack was absolutely fire, you know. Yes. And it just really gave it a real nice style to it, man. It was just amazing. I loved it. I really did. Did.
You want to say something, D?
Yeah, I would say we got a special guest tonight, man. We talking about movies and stuff like that. And when the brother I'm about to bring on, he also is producer of television shows. He also producer of music, and he's in the Queen's legend. Without further ado, Jamie, can you bring in my good brother Bimmy?
Yo,
what up,
Whoa,
Bim?
What's up, Bimmy?
What's up?
Good.
What's going on?
How you feeling?
What's up?
Man, what's up?
Yeah,
well, you looking like a star right now amongst the stars.
Stars in the car. Wow.
Well, my mom's always told me, man, you for the sky, you don't get to the sky, you're falling stars, bro.
That's it, man. That's unfortunately coming from a bad Nick loss tonight, but you know what?
Yeah, I just left the game. I just left.
I know we was talking. You telling me you was going to the game, so I was like, damn, man, we're gonna catch you after the loss.
Yeah, we almost had him though. We almost had him, but it's okay. It's top of the year though, man. We all right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, Bimmy, man, like, you know, some of the things you're doing, a lot of people want to know about you. You was heavy in the music game when the game was at its peak of hip hop. You were there. So tell me tell people how did you get started in the game of music first?
Well, you know, first of all, you know, I started out in my basement. Like my brother, you know, he had DJ equipment, and I should go to the basement, and when he leave the house, I go DJ myself, and he used to hide the needles and shit. So you know, back then, you had to put needles in the recorder to scratch. So I would go. He'd hide the needle, but I found out what needle he put in the wall. He did some crazy shit, and I find the needles and shit. I'll be DJing in the basement. Then when he'll come home. I take the needles off, I throw it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like he know where he put it at. I mean, so I got a couple of that. In my mom's room, they just play music like every Friday, like Saturdays, play cards and shit. You know what I mean? She had a record player, never let me touch it and shit. You know what I mean? But we play the groove with the records and shit. And I fell in love with it. You know what I mean? So when I started getting money, like hustling, I just, you know, get a girl and shit. And I put the time of the record on, I pick her up, and I had a record on playing. And it's right. You know what I'm saying? And I get her.
Yeah, man, yeah. So, like, let me go back some. Like, you said, like, in the streets and stuff, like, you got money. Then I wanted you to talk about some of the artists that you work with in music. So how did, like, when you say getting money, so people understand what you mean by that? What was that?
I mean the bad way. You know what I mean? Like, you know, selling drugs. You know what I mean? And nothing to brag about. You feel me? Because, you know, I destroyed my neighborhood. I was one of the ones that destroyed the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was fucked up. You know what I mean? But it's something that the government did to us as black people and Latinos. You know what I mean? We put in, you know, I ain't gonna say a positive way, but, you know, the food they were serving us and the welfare and all that other shit, you know, when they put some drugs in the neighborhood to kill us off, we turned that shit to something different. You know what I mean? We fucking money with it. And then, you know, I just turned different.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this question: to be a person who saw Run DMC when how they rose to stardom and have a relationship with LL early on and things, did you ever imagine that people from the neighborhood, from Queens, New York, could just be. Does it amaze you to see that they are global icons recognized all over the world? You actually saw them in the inception.
You know what's crazy is like when me and LL was growing up and he was in high school together, I used to watch him walk around with his first album, his first single, I Need a Beat. And I was like, yo, man, what you doing with that album, man? Walking around school. Like, 'cause I didn't know the fucking album was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when he told me, and I ain't seen him for a while, he came back to school. And I said, yo, when you come to school, man? He said, I made $5,000, and I put it in my dresser drawer, and I should stare at it all day. Like, he just stare at the 5,000 all day. You know what I'm saying? So to watch that and to watch him grow the way he is, it was just different, bro. It's just totally different. Like I'm gonna say I wouldn't say I admire a person, but between LL, Run DMC, I admired them. You know what I'm saying? Because I watched where they came from. You know what I'm saying? From nothing. Because us as black folks, we don't believe in shit and that happens. So when I watch these guys be nothing to something, yo, dog, the awards and me standing on stages with them and all type of stuff is just totally different, bro. It's just something that, you just feel good. Like, you're like, damn, man, you guys did your thing. You know what I mean? It's different.
Bimmy, we all recognize you as a Queens legend. And first of all, I want to thank you for coming on the show. And I want to ask you a question. When we going to see the Bimmy story?
Word, man. What's up with that?
You know what's crazy, right? I've been working on that for like 5 years, right? And a lot of these guys in Hollywood, they won't buy my life rights, and I would never, because I was taught your life rights is your creative buy, and that's your royalties, like records, like they sell to China or Russia or Paris or Puerto Rico, and they sell it for like $5 million, $10 million, then I should get some of that money. You know how you go to a country, you on vacation, and you see the subtitles in English, in English, and they speak in the other language.
Okay.
They sold them that film. So why we shouldn't get paid from that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at in life with it. Like, they wanted to take from us, but they don't want to give us nothing.
I got you.
So I've been working with 50 for like the last year and a half. I'm working with 50 with my film, but got a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the cut waiting. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the cut. I got a lot of people that want to deal with it, but I'm just like, I'm a loyal person, and I'm just chilling. It's what we got to do. So that don't happen.
Got you.
I'm a man. I know I stood tall. You know what I'm saying? And I was loyal.
Good. Well, we hope we get that done, because we're definitely wanting to see that.
Word.
Man, yo, let me tell you something, right? I don't know if y'all seen Hip Hop Uncovered.
Oh, I was going to say
yes, we have.
We have to go to that, but go ahead, talk on it.
All right, this shit is real. Like, my story, it ain't all just about drugs. It ain't all about just like killings. It's not about that. It's about our black families growing up, and they showing the Thanksgiving. They showing Sundays. They showing all type of shit. I didn't go to school. You feel me? I didn't go to school. I used to go to courtrooms and sit in courthouses in junior high school and watch cases. You know what I'm saying? And just watch. I was so infatuated with drug dealers. You know what I mean? Cause my sister, I got 5 sisters. You know what I'm saying? And they all, they all had drug dealing niggas, killer niggas, all type. And all my nephew and nieces' fathers is dead, cause all them niggas is killers. All them niggas drug dealers. They off the chain. So I grew up on so. I didn't want to go to school. I said, I want to watch these motherfuckers get sentenced. I want to watch these motherfuckers just fight these judges, all type of shit. I was just amazed at all that shit. You feel me? So that's where my story, it comes at. Like, it's different. Like, you watch all these guys' story, they never gonna tell you a lost. They never gonna tell you. They're always gonna tell you, I sold drugs and I got money and I shot this nigga. That's all they gonna show. And they're gonna show you like I got my ass whipped in White Castles. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why nobody broke the fight up, but these motherfuckers kicked my ass. It was a 1-on-1, but he kicked my motherfucking ass, yo. And I was like, damn, I want to fight this nigga again when I got older. And I seen him when I got older when I was a boss, and I was like, you got me, bro. You kicked my ass that day in White Castle. You know what I'm saying? Like dudes, they're not gonna show that side of themselves. Everybody wants to show that gangster side. Nah, bro. It's other sides to us. It's family side. It's church side. My mom's made me go to church in an orange suit with glitters and patent leather shoes, and I was mad. My sister and brothers laughed at me. I still went to church with that shit on, and you know I had orange hair because I was red, nigga. I was fucked up. So my brother and sister.
Light skin and red, man.
You know, back then niggas wasn't red. Back then niggas, Dr. J with afros and shit, black afros and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? I could never get an afro because it was a red afro. So I said, man, I ain't getting no fucking.
No. You would have stood out too much.
That's why I said my life is different. Like every nigga I was down with was God Body, Supreme, Prince, you know, God B, Black Just, C Just, Green Out Born, like Righteous, Puerto Rican Righteous, you know what I mean, Little Just. All these niggas believe they was God. You know what I mean? I didn't believe I was God. I was a Christian. Like I told you, I was in an orange suit going to church. You know what I mean? That's why I'm sitting here talking to y'all niggas right now. Because I believe in God. Somebody is my empowering us, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just different. That's why I got, you know, my story is different than everybody's story. You know, all these killer guys, all this other shit. They gonna tell you other shit. Man, I got down. I got some shit, but it's other shit too. You know what I mean? And I learned how to spare people. Because you know what? One day you want to be spared. You better learn how to spare somebody.
You know, you was very. I gotta give it to you. Hip Hop Uncovered. You was very vulnerable when you talked about when you got locked up and how it felt when your child. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that really was touching. Like that was showing the side like people don't show when you just speaking on. Like you got locked. Like damn, I got to change. Go ahead.
You understand what I'm saying? Like my story is the American story, you know, bro. We really like we all grew up at. Like when I got locked up, you know, my daughter wrote me a letter. She was little, and when they wrote me the letter, when she wrote me the letter, you know, the judge in the courthouse, they was being slick. They didn't want nobody to see me get sentenced because they thought everybody was going crazy. But they switched the courtrooms on them. You feel me? So when I got sentenced by myself. But I got the letter from my daughter. My lawyer had me the letter, you know, behind my back. So when I was handcuffed. So when I got in the back, I read it. And she said, Daddy, I want to go to Walt Disney, you know, over the weekend and all that type of shit. I just copped out for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, baby, I ain't gonna take you nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So, I cried. Like, the police came in the back because they always put me in the pen by myself. And they came in the back of the pen and say, yo, Anthony, you ready to go? Because the bus is there. You know what I mean? He's ready to go. And I said, yeah. He said, oh, I'm going to leave you alone. And I had to let the police know. I said, yo, listen, I'm not crying because that time, bro. I'm crying because my daughter wrote me this letter. You know what I mean? Because they don't, you know, it's out there. You've been me crying. You got that time. You know what I mean? And 3 years was nothing because Supreme always told us, yo, dog, you should be able to do 10 years out your life. You know what I mean? That's how we grew. Like we for 10 years. So when I got 3 years, I was like, what? Let's go. Give me that. But it was 3 to life. It was 3 to life. So if I done fucked up in jail, they'll keep hitting me. 2 years. But I ain't fuck up. I just played it cool and, you know, and took care of everything and did a smooth bit.
Yeah. So like right now, like with some, like we talking about some of the young guys. So you and I were talking before about like we both work with young people now. Like some of the work that you're doing at Rikers. You want to speak on some of the stuff that you're doing at Rikers right now?
Oh man, the Rikers shit. You know, the Rikers out here is crazy, bro. It's like our youth. Yo, dog. I don't know who raised these niggas. They some different type of niggas, bro. For real. But you know, when I walk the halls, they show me utmost respect. I ain't gonna lie about that. You know what I'm saying? These dudes facing forever. You know what I mean? So my thing is they have like programs I bring barbers in and I cut all their hair. You know what I mean? I do like a culinary program where I teach the dudes how to cook. You know what I mean? I got a studio in there. I'm making records. I got an album coming out called Pain, and the Pain album is every rapper in there that rap. Man, I'm putting them together. I got the Warden talking in the beginning of the album. You know what I mean? I got the Depth talking at the end. You know what I mean? And then I got all the artists. I'm gonna do a big performance in there for like A&Rs and directors and you know, hip hop people and the Warden and the directors and everybody. I'm doing that for them, so the guys see that, man, and feel this, you know, we care. You know what I mean? Because all the guys do, all they want to know is, do we care? You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of us on with our lives, man. My opinion, I don't know mine, no attention. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they need that because they don't get that from home. Like, I got a guy in there 20 years old, bro, and he don't know how to write, bro. He don't know how to write anything. And he called his mother and said, I read a paragraph. You know what his mother said to him? His mother said to him, you must be bored. And I'm like, what? You know what I did? My car dealer, he got a book. He autographed it to me and all that. You know, it's a simple book about his life. He's in prison and he's fucked up. He was an alcoholic, all type of shit. You know, Spanish brother, my brother. And I bought the book to him and I gave it to him. I walked out in the area and I bought him the book. I said, yo, I want you to have this book. I want you to read it. I'm gonna come fuck with you and let me know what you read. You know what I mean? Just read it. You know what I mean? And I told him I'm gonna give him a book. But I know a lot of us tell what we're gonna do and we don't be a man of our word. You know what I mean? We don't do we still don't do. So I wanted him to know that I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do. Always. You know what I mean? And I bought him the book. And he looked at me, he just stared at me. He and I say thank you. And the police said, you know, the Depth that brought me there and the other police, it's, you know, because he one of the guys that burned his cells down, all that dumb shit. And he's like, he looked at me, man, and he's like, thank you. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, it's right, bro. Come hang with me in the studio. Come downstairs and hang with me. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got guys walking around with mitts on, handcuffed, shackled. I been telling them, take that shit off him. Take that shit off him. They come in there and he hug me and he just talk to me. Tell me about his case. Tell me everything. Some of the young brothers, man, I'm telling you, bro, they ain't never come home, bro. You know what I mean? Never come home. But my program, What If? My program is What If Foundation. You know what I mean? It's like, what if I was on this phone tonight? We wouldn't be talking, would we? No. You know what I mean? My shit's called What If. And my program is, like, when they go upstate, I want them to be able to call my office, and I got a bus, Thanksgiving, for Christmas, all their families, and get on that bus for free and send them up there to see their people. I mean, I'm talking about as long as they get, I'm gonna fucking got 30 years. I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where I come from, and I was always taught that, and I was bred that.
So, like, let me see, maybe real quick. Like the young brother Waka Flocka right now, what will make him like he's a superstar right now? Right, at the time. Now he's in a situation that's looking kind of very bleak for him right now. What would you say to that brother before he got in, and what would you say now that he's in the trouble? What would you wish you could have said to Waka before he got into that trouble?
He said if we got in trouble.
No, not Waka. That's your name.
Freddie Wap.
I mean Freddie Wap. Not Waka. I'm talking about Freddie Wap. Sorry, I got it mixed up.
I was say you be telling me something I don't know. I'm gonna call my sister. Like,
shout out to Waka. Shout out to Big Dad. Shout out to Waka. Shout out to Big Dad. Shout out.
Yeah, you just first clear that up. Fuck me up now.
Yeah. Waka is straight, everyone. Waka is straight.
And Waka Flocka is also Bimmy's nephew.
Waka Flocka is Bimmy's nephew. Big Deb is his sister, for those that don't know.
Definitely. But me personally, with Freddie Wap, right? It's just like who's around. You feel me? These guys surround themselves around guys that can't think, that want to be down, that never been in the streets, or want to do something. You feel me? And one thing I always said to guys when I'm working with them, yo, dog, you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You know what I'm saying? Kanye Kanye came to New York. He slept in a car. He got $9 billion right now. He got $1 billion right now. He slept in a car. He didn't go to the streets. Yo, dog, if it's meant for you, it's gonna happen. For you had a record. You can get another record. It ain't for you. You should have stayed in that studio, stuck with it, dealt with different producers, found your sound. You know what I mean? And that's what a personal knowledge coming in and like, yo, we can find your sound. Like I told Walker, I said, Walker, let's fuck with Travis Scott. Travis Scott stole your whole style, bro.
Facts.
Look at his stage presence. Look at the bottom. He stole your shit, bro. All right, let's go to him. Let's make some records. You know what I'm saying? We're not into, you know, the street shit or whatever. And nah, we ain't doing that, bro. The bottom line is create the record and go. You know what I'm saying? That shit hurt so bad because, yo, dog, he's a man of talent. You know what I'm saying? And something he was doing wasn't right because let me tell you something. God get everybody that talent, that flower, bro. And if you use it right, he takes it back. You got to use it. And whatever he was doing, he wasn't doing it right. You got to leave these knuckleheads alone, man. You know what I mean? Because you know why? It's over on them niggas. So when they come in, they doing their job. You feel me? So Fetty Wap is supposed to be smarter than that, bro, and not even fuck with these niggas. Fuck with drugs. Because drugs, let me say to you, I give niggas a hot 4 summers, and it's over. You know what I mean? You get money, I'm going to fuck you get $10 million for 4 years. I don't give a fuck. Look at old boy from Colombia, right? How much money he was getting?
Which one?
El Chapo.
Yeah. Oh, well, Mexico.
El Chapo. He was getting so much money. Where he at now, bro?
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
Done.
He's a Supermax.
You know what I mean?
Right?
I don't watch. It's for Supermax. I don't watch so many niggas getting money. I mean, like millions of dollars, bro. And when them feds or them crackers come at you, it's over. That money you was making, you buy anything commissary. It's cool. You can buy all the sneakers, all the candies, all the cakes, all the rice. You can buy all the fuck you want to buy. But it's over. It's over. You don't sleep with a woman ever in your life again.
That's why I come from.
It's over.
Baby, let me ask you this question. I've always believed that, and especially at a certain time, that New York produced the greatest point guards. And New York used to produce the greatest MCs. Now it just seems like New York is not the breeding place for MCs like it used to be. Has the industry changed, or has the desire of the streets of New York changed?
No, the streets changed, bro. The streets changed. The streets is beating the type of niggas. Let me tell you something. When we was growing up, we had older niggas ahead of us teaching us. You don't go near that police car. You know what I mean? Yo, you can't say that, bro. Don't copycat him. Be yourself. Be original. We come from different breeds, bro. Nowadays, everybody copying everybody. So therefore, when you got guys from the South or the West, and they got a record, and then they see us make a record similar to their record, now, quick, fast, he's biting. He's not nothing. It's us. You know, and it fucks us up. It fucks us up. Be original. Fuck what you want to talk about. Fashion, whatever. Hip-hop, basketball, we number one. New York is number one. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. Ain't no slight on no state, nothing. No country, nothing. New York is number one. You see them towers? You know what I mean? Even though they knocked it down, it's still there, bro. It's still there. We number one. Fashion, whatever you want to talk about. Everybody dressed like us. You know what I mean? And I always told dudes, I said, yo, bro, we got 5 boroughs. You go outside them 5 boroughs, everything else is language is different. It's different. It's different. You know? And what we gotta learn is, yo, dog, we are one. Like I told dudes, like even they dudes tell me, yo, why you ain't help Queens or go to Queens and join them program? I'm in Rikers Island. I got every borough. You feel me? If you fuck up, I don't give a fuck what borough you in. You come to the island. You feel me? I got every borough. And I fuck with every borough. My mind and who I am, I'm not just from Queens. I'm fuck with every borough.
So baby, real quick, I want to ask you a question. Like, who do you think could really see Busta Rhymes in the verses? Because Busta's talking a lot of shit out here.
Busta Rhymes? I mean, he got to go LL. He got to go LL.
Mm-hmm. You think L gonna do it?
Because they both. I don't know L do it, but I know him and L. You know, he got so lady girl records.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I think LL. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Finish your statement. I'm sorry.
No, I feel LL would be good for him.
Okay.
You have to do it at the Garden, though. They can't do it no place else.
Yeah.
They can't do it no. But you know, too, if LL and Jay-Z do it together.
Woo.
Mm.
Either one of those three would be dope. I don't know about Nas.
Yeah.
I don't know if Nas will do it, but think Nas will do it, y'all?
I kind of felt like Jay-Z and Nas would be dope.
That'll be dope.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope. That would break the records. Yo, dog, if them two do together, that would be crazy.
It would be over. It would definitely be over.
What culture they say is for the culture, whatever culture it is, that'll be dope. Because I still don't know what is the culture. What is the culture?
Kelvin always says that. Kelvin always says that.
Yeah. Bimmy, last question. Bimmy, last question. Give us your top 5 MCs.
Everybody from Queens.
Listen, they gonna be mad at you. Nobody gonna be mad. It's just like it don't give me no random order, bro.
Come on, be a little specific. Top 5 MCs.
Top 5 for Queens. Top 5 for Queens.
All right, let me tell you something. What we just say about the J and the Nine? What we just talking about? Before you ask me that question, what were we talking about?
We were talking about the verses, Nas and Jay-Z.
Yo, do you know how crazy that'd be if them two do it?
Yeah, I know.
It'll break records.
It would break records,
For the culture. Now I got it. Let me ask y'all on this phone. What is the culture? I'm see what y'all. Let me ask y'all a question. I'm gonna be on now. What's the culture?
That's a good question. Culture, I mean, if the hip hop, I guess it would the music, the clothing, the dance, the culture. But when you say culture, like the lifestyle, that's a good question.
I would say the music, the way you dress, the way we talk, our lingo.
The lingo.
Yeah, I would say that would be the culture.
Speech, attitude, thought process.
Yeah, the way you carry yourself.
Our history, the history of hip hop, history of it.
I think the culture is the distraction from the fact that we don't own as much of this as we should. That's what I think. I think the culture is something that people use as a cloak. That's what I think.
But we've been not owning nothing. We've been not owning nothing. We've been not owning nothing. So that we can't put that in there. We've been not owning nothing.
I know, but we created this though.
It definitely did. We definitely did. We never owned shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't get into politics with this Biden guy, but I'm so mad that I be getting texts and on my emails about petition against Biden, and I'm like looking at these motherfuckers. Like, y'all knew this bastard was what he was doing from the gate. You know what I mean? I took that fucking shot. I wasn't supposed to take it. I only took it because niggas that work for me, and they had to get them paid and all that dumb shit. That fucking Biden is a motherfucker, and people in this world is weak. They all weak. And Kanye, that shit he did on Drink Champ was great. It was absolutely great. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all saw it, but what Kanye was talking about, great. John Lay, all them niggas is sellouts. All these motherfuckers is sellouts. Yo, he's right. What he's saying, bro. You know what I mean? Everybody want to say everybody's crazy when they talk that real shit, that right shit, that real right. They want to say, oh, he's crazy. That motherfucker got all his goddamn mind, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that man. Nothing wrong.
I mean, we about to run out of time here, man. Anything you want to shout? Anything you want to plug that you got going on? and tell about the show that.
Yeah, I got a show.
Go ahead, bro.
I got a show coming out. You know, we're working on next month. It's called The Round Table, and the Round Table consists of me, myself, and Jamie Hector. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all know who Jamie Hector is.
I'm from The Wire, brother. Come on, Marlo, brother.
Jamie Hector, Ghostface, and Angela Yee, 511.1. You know what I mean? We got this show called The Round Table where what's going on is that all up and coming artists that don't have a deal, that's trying to make it. You know what I mean? We teaching them, and I got guests every week. We have a guest, and like Mike Will, Southside, Walker. You know, I got different people coming, and they're gonna help these people, these artists that's trying to make it.
So where can we find it at, baby?
I mean, like we doing a sizzle next month, so you know we gonna close the deal. I'm dealing with some powerful people to make this happen, so we making it happen. You know what I mean?
If you need any overweight middle-aged actors like myself and any kind of thing you're doing, hit me up, brother. I need a check, man. You always getting money. I need some stars in my roof of my car. God damn it, that's all I need. And you know my proud foundation is called What If. That what I'm doing on Rikers Island. You know what I mean? Like the things I'm doing. You know, with these, you know, giving back to like the youth and adults. You know what I mean? Because our adults are lost too. You feel me? Mm-hmm. They lost too. And everybody needs somebody, bro. And my thing is to bring everybody together. And you know, like I was in Connecticut day before yesterday, and I was talking to these brothers. It's like 10 of them, right? And this really fucked me up, bro. And I thought I heard everything work, right? It's one of the gentlemen, right? I'm never gonna say his name, right? And he spoke out in group, right? They brought me in, and I spoke to them, and he did a testimony, and he said he sold drugs. He did 20 years in prison. He sold drugs. Before he did, you know, he was selling drugs. The dealer he used to work for, right? He fucked some money up. Fucked the dude money up. The dude went and found the guy with HIV and made him fuck him. Whoa. For hours. Hours. And he got HIV right now. And he was sitting and telling the story. Yo, dog, I had to get up and hug this motherfucker. I was like, yo, that's some crazy shit. That's the wildest thing I've heard in my life.
I'm like, yo, how the fuck this nigga do some shit like that? That's a death wish. Like, yo, dog, how much money did he fuck up? Nigga, oh my God. Yo, oh my God. I just gotta do something for this guy, man. I gotta do something for him. And the funny shit about it is, right, you know, we finished talking, everything was over. And he came back in and he asked me, he said, are you gonna come back? He said, because I need you to talk. I need you to come back. And I said, brother, I'm going to come back. You know what I'm saying? And in God in heaven, I'm definitely going to come back and talk to that brother because that was crazy. And he did the testimony in front of white people, all types. He did the testimony in front of everybody. And even the guys, the inmates, even the guys was fucked up. It was like, yo, he fucked me up with that. After while we was outside talking, they was like, yo, he fucked me up with that. Because he took me by storm. I had to clutch my knees and like, oh, shit. Yeah, he said for hours just fucking him.
Yeah. I mean, man, I'm sorry to hear those stories, but listen, you need help when any brothers come to speak on those things. Like, we have Kelvin, who's the pastor, got myself. You know what I do? I work with the kids and work with the nonprofit. Rodney, former cop. Derik works with at-risk people, too. So let us know, man. We always want to be a helping hand. We always want to give back. So that's what we do here. Let's chop it up. Just hit me, and we show up anyway. So, all right?
You got
so let me know. Yeah, I got you, brother.
So. You know what I'm saying? You got my number. I'm here, and I feel as though it's my job to give back like that and help these guys. My program is I'm taking guys abroad. I'm taking them to Paris. I'm taking them to different countries so they can be exposed to life. Like Run DMC exposed me. That's what made me turn. Because Run DMC exposed me. I wasn't in my neighborhood. I was on a plane. So, and I'm telling these people, you got to take these guys. They got to see something different. They can't just keep seeing this neighborhood. You feel me? What are they gonna learn? What are they gonna know? That's something different.
Yeah.
You got exposed. Exposure is the best key. You watch white people, they take their kids out of the country at fucking 5 years old. Johnny, Lisa right there, Johnny. Look at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My mom took me to a fucking bubblegum store. Yeah, she took me to the corner store and I stole out the motherfucker.
Yo, it's crazy. Yo, Femi, man, you got stories for days, man. We'd love to hear more of the story.
I took a chucker down. All type of dumb shit, dog.
Yo, Femi, man, I want to hear more of these stories, man. We got to bring you back in, man. I appreciate you, man. We love you, man.
I'll fuck y'all up on this phone. I'm chilling. I got to chill out. You're right.
Nah, it's good. I love the stories. Listen, we could go story for story. You probably got a little bit more than me on this one, man. But listen, man, we truly appreciate you, man, what you do, man.
Dog.
What up?
Niggas, let me tell you something. These niggas don't know how it is to grow up with no heat in your house, dog. My sister's blow dryer, be in the bed and keep warm like that with the blow dryer, bro.
Yeah, man.
And get beat in the middle of the night. My mom was like, "You gonna burn the house down, nigga." Beat my ass.
Yo, brother, man, listen, get home safe. You know, tell your sister we love you. You love your nephew. You love your other brothers too, man. We truly appreciate you, man. Love you, man.
Appreciate y'all.
All right. Thanks, Bimmy.
Peace, brother. Peace. Salute.
All right, thanks, y'all.
Thanks, brother.
What up, Rod in the middle? Okay.
Yo, interview me.
This was a great show tonight, man. We're going to thank all our guests that came on tonight. We got Brittany, we got Norette, we got Keisha, and they got our brother Bimmy for coming on tonight, man. Please follow, like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Brothers, I love y'all. Catch you next week. Peace, and
love you too.
Later, y'all.